Good evening, sports fans. Hump Day Wednesday and last day of April. Can you believe that? It's already May tomorrow. Well, more Eastern Conference teams advancing to the second round of the NBA playoffs, plus another rising star for the San Antonio Spurs winning the NBA's Rookie of the Year award.
And it's La Salle over UST for that last twice-to-beat edge in the Final Four of the UAAP Women's Volleyball.
What a match that was. I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Lituncalaw.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy leaves. Mr. Moves puts it on. Unbelievable. Gemma on the left side. Oh, the pass! Stopping another one. Macunas rejecting Estevo for the point.
Well, who's overrated now? Tyrese Halliburton delivering the ultimate message as he sends the Indiana Pacers to the next round of the NBA playoffs, and eliminating and sending the Milwaukee Bucks home after winning a Game 5 overtime thriller. Woo. Take a look at that, 119-118, claiming the best-of-7 series, 4 games to 1. Hallie forcing the extension by tying the score at 103 off a tough drive and slam. In that extra period, the Pacers used an 8-0 run to get in front, capped off by that drive by Hallie and that game-winning layup with 1.3 to go. Hallie finishing with 26 points, 9 assists, and 3 steals. Miles Turner and Aaron Nesmith adding a combined 40 markers and 21 rebounds. The Bucks failed to extend their series despite Giannis Antetokounmpo's monster triple-double. 30 buckets, 20 boards, 13 dimes. Ouch. Milwaukee also wasted a 33-point effort from Gary Trent Jr., who stepped up in the absence of the injured Damian Lillard. Here's Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle addressing the growing rivalry between his team and the Bucks.
Nothing but respect for the Bucks. What they threw at us to begin the game and really throughout the game was the thing that champions do. They come out and they throw everything, their heart and soul into it. We didn't respond well early. We stayed with it, and we showed the kind of resilience that we've really shown all year. So, my hat's off to our guys for hanging in. Our crowd was tremendous. What happened in the overtime, we were down 7 with 40 seconds. Nemhard hits the 3. We get a steal. Ty gets an and one, and then we got fortunate. They had a mishandle, and we got the ball, and Ty made the play to win the game. And neither team had a timeout. Both teams literally left every single ounce of everything they had out there, including timeouts, and nobody had anything left.
Controversy after Game 5 between the Pacers and the Bucks. While Indiana was enjoying its hard-earned victory, a heated exchange took place between Giannis Antetokounmpo and Tyrese Halliburton's father, John. The incident happened when the elder Halliburton stormed the court and appeared to mock the Bucks superstar. His antics then drew an intense response from Giannis. Both Tyrese and Giannis addressed the situation in separate post-game interviews.
I don't think that my pops was in the right at all there, and unfortunate, what happened in the end there. But, this series was a lot of war of words, a lot of war of antics, a lot of stuff going back and forth. And that's just part of, this rivalry and what we've built here over the last couple of years. And, it's unfortunate what happened there, but I think it's just competition. And as far as my pops, again, I don't agree with what happened there. We'll have a conversation. Everybody's grown men, and, we'll just go from there.
One thing I'll say is that I believe being humble in victory. That's how I am. Now there can be a lot of people out there that are like, no, when you win the game, you got to tag, and it's a green light for you to be disrespectful towards somebody else. I disagree. I've won the championship. They haven't. Okay, and that doesn't even say anything. I'm not trying to minimize their effort.
Hours later, John Halliburton apologized to Giannis via tweet. His message said, quote, "I sincerely apologize to Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Pacers organizations for my actions following tonight's game. This was not a good reflection on our sport or my son, and I will not make that mistake again." End of quote.
Well, the Boston Celtics are also through to the second round of the NBA playoffs. And just like the Pacers, the defending champs, finished off the Orlando Magic 4-1. But Game 5 of their series ended in a blowout win for the C's, 120-89. Jason Tatum followed up on his 37-point outing by posting 35 markers on 10 of 16 shooting, along with 8 rebounds and 10 assists. His partner in crime, Jaylen Brown, added 23 points on a 50% shooting clip. Behind the dynamic duo, the C's dominated their entire second half, 73-40. Orlando's Paolo Banchero was saddled with foul trouble and finished with 19 points. Franz Wagner tried to carry the load for the Magic as he scored 25 in a losing cause. Here's Tatum breaking down Boston's series clinching performance.
Getting some stops, we had the rebound. We didn't really like the way we played in the first half. We was only down 2, but it's tough to put a team away. But we just stuck with it.
Physicality was a big narrative in this series. What does that say about the character of your team? And how does that prepare you for New York or Detroit?
We champions. We can win in multiple different ways, multiple different lineups. The Magic, they forced us to play a different way. We adapted and figured it out.
Finally, for you, I was talking to Kristaps Porzingis before the game, and he told me you're just scratching the surface here. He believes you're just entering your prime physically and mentally. How has your game matured as you chase your second championship here?
Just understand I've been here before, 120, whatever playoff games. Can't really ride the emotional roller coaster of the playoffs. Guys stay poised. Fight through battles, whatever. And I think our biggest thing right now is staying healthy and just taking it one game at a time. Respect our opponent, whoever we play next, and just get ready.
Here's an updated look at the NBA playoff bracket. We've already got 3 out of 4 teams in the Eastern Conference semis. The Indiana Pacers will next face the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 1 of that exciting matchup will go down on Monday, May 5. The Boston Celtics now await the winner of the New York Knicks-Detroit Pistons series. The Knicks currently lead that best-of-7 tilt 3-2.
The New York Knicks did have a chance to advance today, but the Detroit Pistons managed to stay alive with a gritty Game 5 win on the road in MSG. Big game here for the Pistons as they held on for a 106-103 victory at the Madison Square Garden in the big city. It was a back-and-forth affair that saw 18 lead changes and 16 ties. Cade Cunningham had 24 points, 8 boards, and as many assists, while Ausar Thompson had 22 markers for Motor City. Tobias Harris also got into the mix as he chipped in 17 points. It didn't help New York's cause when Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart left the game due to injuries with about 3 minutes to go. The two failed to return after the final 27 seconds, even when they were ready long before that, because there had been no stoppages of play. Brunson had his worst performance so far this postseason, finishing with just 16 points on 4 of 16 shooting. As mentioned earlier, the Knicks are still up, though, in this series, 3-2. But the series will be headed back to Motor City for Game 6 happening this Friday at 7:30 a.m. Manila time. At a post-game press conference, Pistons head coach J.B. Bickerstaff gave his high praise to his players, especially Ausar Thompson.
He's a heck of an offensive player, right? A phenomenal offensive player. But I think Ausar, from a mental standpoint, like a want to, there's not more people out there that want to get a stop the way that he does. He's gifted athletically. He's got great instincts, but what's, to your point, the fun part is he gets to see the guy over and over and over again, and then he grows every single game on understanding what's the best way to defend him and how to make it so difficult. You remember early in the series, he got a couple cheap ones in the backcourt, because he was over pressuring. Now you see him working his way back, still turning him, but he's not getting those cheap ones. He's able to stay on the floor and be impactful. So it's fun to see him learn and go out and execute it.
Coming up here on the show, the Blue Arrow strikes again as he leads the Denver Nuggets past the LA Clippers in Game 5 to move to within a win away from entering the second round. Catch that and more when play-by-play returns, only here on One News. And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play-by-Play only on One News. Add another chapter to the legend of playoff Murray. Denver Nuggets star Jamal Murray continues to torch Los Angeles in the playoffs, but this time it's the Clippers who are on the receiving end. The Nugs led wire to wire en route to a 131-115 Game 5 win, but that didn't come without a scare as the Clippers somehow managed to cut down on Denver's 22-point lead in the fourth quarter. The gap dwindled to just 9 with 4 minutes left before the Nugs went on a 13-0 run to close things out. The victory now pushes Denver to within a win away from eliminating LA. The Blue Arrow was having his way with 43 points, his 6th 40-point playoff game, and the most in Nuggets history. Murray also added 5 boards, 7 assists, and 3 steals. Former MVP Russell Westbrook provided the spark needed off the bench with 21 markers. Nikola Jokic had a relatively quiet night, but he did get his 21st playoff triple-double here, 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists. Ivica Zubac had 27 to lead the Clips as they tried to overcome James Harden's off night. The Beard had only 11 points in 35 minutes of play. The Nugs can close things out at the Intuit Dome in Game 6 on Friday, 10 a.m. Philippine time. Now let's listen to Murray talking about the win and how Game 6s are the hardest to claim.
Like I said before, it's just fun. Pure competition. Everybody's playing hard. Everybody's playing for something. So it's just come here and have my teammates back. They have mine. So it's it's just fun basketball. You know, to put it short, it's just good basketball. It's cool because, you know, I know him up close. We came off the bench together, you know, my rookie year. We built the chemistry. We've been here the whole time, and then I get to, like, you know, every year I realize, no, damn, first MVP, second MVP, third, might be fourth. Like, I'm playing with the all-time great. So I don't want to lose control of that moment and just always keep that in mind and just try to take advantage of it. Game 6s are the hardest ones. You know, the team is fighting for their life. They're playing in front of their home crowd, so we're going to have to bring it. And we're going to have to bring it for all 48 minutes, and we know what we get into. So as long as we keep a good mentality, stay healthy, stay together, we should be fine.
For the second straight season, the San Antonio Spurs have the NBA's Rookie of the Year. This time, guard Stephon Castle takes home the Wilt Chamberlain Trophy. Castle edged out first overall pick Zachary Rissache of the Atlanta Hawks by over 200 points. Castle had a total of 482. The Spurs rookie averaged 14.7 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. He ranked first among rooks in total points, steals, and free throws made. He was also named Western Conference Rookie of the Month twice for January and March. The 20-year-old is the fourth Spur to win the award, joining big men David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and Victor Wembanyama. San Antonio is the first team to have back-to-back winners of the annual honor since Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns won it as Minnesota Timberwolves.
In other news, the Sacramento Kings are making moves as they try to become a consistent playoff team. The Kings are keeping Doug Christie as their head coach. Christie took over Sacramento as an interim replacement to Mike Brown, who was fired last December. Reports say Kings general manager Scott Perry and Christie's camp are closing in on a multi-year deal. Under Christie, the Kings had a 27 and 24 win-loss slate. All in all, though, they finished at 40 and 42, making the play-in as the 9th seed, but losing their elimination game to the Dallas Mavericks.
Here at home in the PBA, the Converge Fiber Xers extend their winning streak in the Philippine Cup. The Fiber Xers pulled away from the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters for a 107-97 victory. Shawnee Winston took center stage, earning Player of the Game honors with 24 points on an efficient 10 of 17 shooting. He also had 3 rebounds and 5 assists. Converge has won 3 straight games, improving to 4-2 in the standings. Rain or Shine drops to an even 2-2 card.
Our coaching staff trusts us. They see us every day working hard, getting to the gym early. So I just put it all towards the hard work that we all put in as a group. We're all on there grinding together as a team, and it's showing.
Meantime, the Barangay Ginebra San Miguel look to get back on track as they face the Northport Batang Pier. The Gin Kings pulled away early behind a 21-8 start. They finished the first quarter up 40-24. Come the second quarter, the Gin Kings continue to extend their lead, reaching by as many as 27 points. At the half, it's Ginebra up big 70-43. The second half is currently ongoing.
Well, prior to today's Ginebra game, the team placed veteran floor general L.A. Tenorio on the unrestricted free agent list. But a 40-year-old guard will still get a salary despite being a free agent. This move is seen as a gateway for Tenorio to focus on his stint as Gilas Pilipinas youth head coach. Gilas Youth is set to compete at the FIBA Under-16 Asia Cup Siaba qualifiers happening next month, the first real test for Tenorio as chief tactician. The move also gives way to the reactivation of third-year player Jason David. Tenorio has seen limited minutes since returning from colon cancer, mainly because of the acquisition of RJ Abarrientos from the PBA draft.
In the UAAP, another UE Red Warrior is heading to Diliman. The UP Fighting Maroons have confirmed the addition of guard Rainer Maga. Maga announced his departure from UE last April 24. By joining UP, he will team up with fellow former Red Warriors Ray Remogat and Gani Stevens. In his lone year with the Red Warriors, Maga averaged 8.1 points, along with 2.8 rebounds and 1.1 assists in 22 minutes per game. Under the UAAP's new transfer rules, Maga will redshirt for 1 season and will be eligible to suit up for the Fighting Maroons in UAAP Season 89. Maga is seen to fill a key role in UP's future backcourt rotation with the graduation of Jerry Abadiano, Terence Fortea, and Harold Alarcon after Season 88. Coming up, we've got volleyball news as the De La Salle Lady Spikers claim that coveted twice-to-beat edge in the UAAP Women's Volleyball Final Four. More on that when Play-by-Play returns. Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. The De La Salle Lady Spikers take the last twice-to-beat bonus in the Final Four of the UAAP Season 87 Women's Volleyball Tournament. The Lady Spikers securing that second seed after beating the UST Golden Tigresses in a playoff. No need for 5 sets this time around as La Salle put UST away in 4. But the scores were still close, 23-25, 25-20, 30-28, and 29-27. La Salle throwing a massive block party here with 20 blocks all in all, the most by any team this season. Angel Canino led the Lady Spikers with a triple-double of 24 points, 12 excellent receptions, and 10 digs. Shivana Lapot added 22 big markers in the statement win. La Salle and USC will go head-to-head again on Saturday, this time in the semis.
Yun nga, at least sabi ko nga kanina sa kanila nung pagkatapos ay ko, hindi pa tapos yung laban. Nakuha lang natin yung twice to beat pero dadating tayo doon sa actual na semifinals na tayo yung may advantage. So kailangan panghawakan natin to kung advantage na nakuha natin, wag na nating bitawan pa.
Meantime, the MVP group has officially thrown its full support behind the country's historic hosting of the 2025 FIVB Volleyball Men's World Championship. Chairman Manuel V. Pangilinan and PNVF President Ramon Tatsuzara sealed the landmark partnership on Monday. This marks another world-class collaboration after co-hosting the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2023. The 2025 FIVB Volleyball Men's World Championship is set for September 12 to 28 next year. This is the first time the global event will be staged on Philippine soil. PLDT will provide broadband connectivity as the official internet partner, while Signal TV handles broadcast duties to bring the action to fans nationwide. Suzara says preparations are well underway with a full promotional campaign in the pipeline. This includes a trophy tour, international roadshow, mascot launch, team managers meeting, media events, and test matches here and abroad.
A busy day today in sports. So we've got volleyball and basketball in tonight's highlight reel. Simulan na natin sa volleyball in the UAAP. Tense moments here in the fourth. Kanino with the serve there. And take a look at this attack from the back row. But it was received. And then they go to Shabana Lapot from the back as well to finish things off. What a match this was. And as Chet mentioned earlier, ELSU prevailing but one away to cap off that game for Big Shabana Lapot with 22 big points as LaSalle gets a number 2 seed and the twice-to-beat advantage. Come the Final Four, LaSalle will meet USC again. Whew, interesting matchup on Saturday, but this time it will be in the semis. Big win for DLSU and USC. Well, this is going to be a good Final Four matchup. Now, from the UAP, let's go to the NBA. Clippers Nuggets, Harden against his former teammate Westbrook. Blocked by, veteran DeAndre Jordan. That leads to the break. The Blue Arrow with a stop. Kawhi Leonard couldn't catch up with a younger Jamal Murray. Take a look at that block again. It all started with good defense, or solid, with Murray rushing to the other end and finishing at home. Take a look at the score with under 9 to play. Denver was in full control here at home. Blue Arrow leading the way to 43 big points, 5 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals as well. And the Nuggets take game 5, 131 to 115 for a 3-2 lead. But the series will head back to LA at the Intuit Dome. Up next, we go to Boston. Game 5 between the Seas and the Magic. Jaylen Brown, take a look at the hezzy on Corey Joseph, and then the dribble move in and out, and then all the way to the hole for the rack attack. Franz Wagner, knowing what he had to do, he was too late, so just get out of the way before he turns into a JB poster. Brown finishing with 23 points as he helped the Seas eliminate the Magic here in Game 5, 120 to 89. The defending champs playing solid here, and they're winning in round 2 for the winner between the Knicks or the Pistons. What a series that is. Okay, final play, Siyempre, main event. Tyrese Halliburton against the Greek Freak. Time winding down for the winner. Who's overrated now? Hallie silencing his critics and his peers, voting him as the most overrated player for this year. Remember last season, it was Rudy Gobert. But he finished number 2 behind Hallie as the most overrated NBA player this season. And Hallie says, overrate that too. Hallie with 26 big points, 9 assists. Overrate that, as he said in a tweet, referring to the players who recently voted him as the most overrated NBA player. And that led, of course, as Czech mentioned earlier, we said earlier that confrontation between Hallie's dad, John, and Giannis Antetokounmpo after. Pacers win 119-118, send the Bucks home. Indy has now booked a date with the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 2. Good luck to Hallie and Indy. They're going to need it. Check.
Overrate that.
It's my boy right there.
And before we go, 7 stages down, 1 more to go for the Tour of Luzon. Joseph Javiniar of Excellent Noodles came out as the winner of Stage 7 after owning the individual time trial from Lingayen to Labrador. Javiniar clocked in at 17 minutes and 25 seconds to conquer the 15.2-kilometer route. This started from Barangay Kibaul in Lingayen and ended at the Labrador Municipal Hall. With this performance, Javiñar now has 2 stage wins after his belt, adding to his Stage 5 Clark-to-Clark triumph earlier this week. Yellow jersey holder Ju Dae-yong of South Korea finished second, trailing Javiñar by 38 seconds. Mervin Corpo is currently second in the overall standings, took third place in Stage 7, crossing the line 52 seconds after the stage winner. The 8th and final stage will be a tricky and challenging uphill 177.4-kilometer course from Lingayen to Baguio City.
While you were reading the news, I was talking to it kasi nag-bike nga yung dating FD si Odi. And ang speed daw ni Javiñar, kasi sabi mo
17 minutes 25 seconds for 15.2 kilometers.
So mga 40 to 50 kilometers per hour. Parang kotse
Please don't make me do
Yun yung
math.
pacing niya, no? Mga around that, no? Mga 40 to 50 kilometers per hour, no? Yung pacing niya yun, no?
I will say
Grabe
yes.
Yun, no? Wild.
Cannot help with math.
No, that's wild. Samantalang ako nagtitrain sa Sydney Marathon, 9 minutes per kilometer.
You have how many days to go? 100?
23.
Hi, man.
Kaya pa.
Okay.
All right. But congratulations again. And it's an exciting race now as it heats up here in the Tour of Luzon. That's all from us tonight. Catch us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of the day's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Liton Calao. Thank you for watching. Good night.